team at RE/MAX Realty Group. With us today is special guest, Lee County property appraiser. Is it appraiser or assessor?
Appraiser.
Appraiser, okay.
Yeah. Many states it's assessor, but
Ken Wilkinson. And I want to ask you, we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show technology, because you are always, I remember you were at the forefront of saving the county $1 million or $2 million back when we had the Y2K deal.
Right.
You're always testing new products. Every time I have you in here, or we have you in here, we learn about something new. When's the last time you were in here? Was it 6 months ago, a year ago?
somewhere in between, probably.
Okay. What has changed? What don't we know about that maybe our listeners will get to know about either now or in the future? What are you working on?
We've been, for 3 years, we've actually worked on what's called AVM, Automated Valuation Models. That's the future in our business. You can't keep adding people. You've got to go with technology, and that's been my, for 20-some years, my mantle or whatever. But there's something we've been working on. It's multiple regression analysis, all appraisal terms. But in condo, we've done two major things that we've plugged in this year. One is the AVMs, where we put together, we didn't go out and hire people, but we hired from within. We promoted 3 people to a team. They didn't get a raise until it worked, and it worked. So when they do have that. And put them together in a room and says, look, we've got years of sales. Well, you use the current years always. But with AVM, the modeling, you can time adjust. So we've gone back with 4 years history, current year, and we have 5 years of sales that we've brought to date of sale by modeling. What this does, it's unbelievable stuff. With that many sales, you can tell how much value a fireplace adds to it. Because you use all the sales, and then with fireplaces, and then all of them with the only difference is doesn't have a fireplace. And you can see what a fireplace adds. It's really interesting stuff. And it's the future. We've got it. We plugged it in this year. But even more interesting, I think, which is fun to watch, is the challenge we did, and these are all done within our staff. We've got some really bright people in the technology area that purposely we've found them over the years, is what we're calling 2D, 3D. To my knowledge, nobody has it. It's line of sight looking out. Well, in the condo models, we've got it, we plugged it in. We will most likely, within a year, I would say, have it out on the internet. But you'll be able to, as if you're on that 15th floor condo, and we know that view and floor heights add differences of value as you go up. So this way, we will actually be able to do that and show it. It's neat stuff.
Well, going back to the multiple regression analysis, now you're speaking my language, because that's what I was into.
I didn't know that.
Okay. So, but it sounds like you're testing for autocorrelation on
yes.
the time adjustments. And I remember back in our stats and finance, we used the Durbin-Watson test to test for autocorrelation and make sure, because otherwise that's the one thing.
So it is true. Bald guys are smart, huh?
Bald guys can be smart. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I'm really happy to hear now. Multiple regression analysis is very complicated. What you do is you're taking a lot of variables and you're finding out which ones are statistically significant, and saying
you can't do it without the data. And with the large county that we have, even 1 year's data isn't enough. But we backlog all this information, bring the sales forward by time adjusting them by what had happened each year, and then with that you have enough sales to do these analyses.
I'd love to come down someday and speak to your people,
sure,
and find out, go through that, not that I remember how to do all this analysis, but just kind of look at some of the variables and how much you plug in for every, and see the fireplace here may add value, but the fireplace over here may not.
With this amount of data, you can find that out.
Oh, that would just be kind of neat. Going back to the 2D, 3D stuff, or Sandy, you got a question?
Well, yeah. Well, I was kind of interested in the fact that not only could you value the fireplace, you can also value the view, right?
Yes.
So you can actually, the 13th floor, the 15th floor,
with this much data, and we're plugging in first in the condo. Condos are actually the easiest to do, and we've accumulated all this data over the years. That's the type of property you want to first plug it in, is the way we call it. It took us 3 years on the APMs. And then a year on the 2D, 3D, they're plugged in, and it gives you floor level, view level, corner versus interior. But the condos is the best to test this. And next year we'll do it in single family.
But you're going to have to set up the fields correctly on the waterfronts and all that kind of
it's
stuff.
all of it.
Yeah.
So as realtors, we're going to be able to go in and take a look at.
You're listening to The Future of Real Estate, presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX, and when we come back, we'll have a lot more questions with Ken Wilkinson. So stay tuned.